Hi everyone. So when you apply for a marriage-based green card, one of the most important things is to show that the marriage is real, that the marriage is what's called a bona fide marriage, meaning that it wasn't just entered into for immigration benefits. Well, the question is, how do you show USCIS that your marriage is real? Well, this has a lot to do with the documents that you include in your immigration case. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 of the most important documents to include with your immigration case. So stick around. Hi everyone. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop with all the immigration videos that we're posting. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button so that YouTube shares our video with a wider audience. Now let's get started. If you're planning on applying for a marriage-based green card, one of the most important things is to show USCIS that the marriage is real, that the marriage is what's classified as a bona fide marriage, meaning that at the time you entered into the marriage, you intended to build a life with your significant other, that the marriage was not just a sham or some way to get immigration benefits. So the question is, how do you prove to USCIS that your marriage is real? Well, a big part of this is providing the right documents with your case. Again, in this video, I'm going to go over 5 of the most important documents to include with your immigration case to help USCIS see that the marriage is in fact real. So let's get started. Document number 1, a marriage certificate. It sounds obvious enough, but you should make sure to include in your case a marriage certificate. The marriage certificate will have important details about your marriage. It'll have the date that the marriage took place, the location of the marriage. It will often have witnesses signing that the parties did in fact get married. So again, make sure to include a marriage certificate with your case. The second type of documentation that you should include in your case is photos together. Photos are a very powerful way to show that your marriage is in fact real. You should show photos of yourselves traveling together, photos at various restaurants, photos of your wedding, and a very powerful form of photos is photos with each other's friends and family. This type of evidence, again, can be a very powerful way of showing that the marriage is in fact real. The third form of documentation that you should include in your marriage-based green card case is evidence of a joint bank account. A joint bank account is essentially a bank account that both of you have access to. And basically, the idea of a joint bank account is that it shows that you guys are commingling your funds, that you're basically sharing your funds. And this is very powerful because the idea is that you wouldn't really share a bank account with somebody that you didn't truly intend to build a life with. Now, a very important point that I want to mention about joint bank accounts is that you should actually be using this bank account regularly. It's one thing to just have a joint bank account that you don't use. It's an entirely different, stronger form of evidence where you actually are regularly depositing money into the joint bank account and you're actually using that bank account to pay for various utility bills and other expenses. So again, if you're going to have a joint bank account with one another, make sure that you're actually using that bank account regularly. The fourth form of evidence that you should include in your case is a lease agreement with both of your names on it, or evidence of property ownership with both of your names on the deed. Now, basically, what this does is that it helps to first show that you live with one another. If both of your names are on a lease agreement, it helps to establish that you live with one another. The same goes for property. And again, it goes into this whole idea that if you both have your names on a lease, it's far more likely that you're actually in a real marriage with one another. So again, evidence of having both of your names on a lease or that you own property with one another is very powerful for your case. And moving on to the 5th type of documentation that you should include in your case, and this is evidence of joint bills, so that you have bills with one another. And these bills can be credit card bills, utility bills, for example, an electricity bill or a water bill that's addressed to both of you, a cable bill, a cell phone bill. Again, if these bills have both of your names on it, it really helps to strengthen the case that you're in a real marriage with one another, that this isn't just some sort of fraudulent way of obtaining immigration benefits. So I know I said that I'd go over 5 types of documents to include in your case, but I have a couple of bonuses that I want to share with you. So bonus number 1 is that if you have joint membership to various organizations, for example, if you have a Costco membership together, that can be a very powerful form of evidence. Or if you have a gym membership with one another, that can also be a powerful form of evidence demonstrating that your marriage is real. And bonus number 2, joint health insurance. If you both have a health insurance plan together, that can also be a very powerful way of showing that your marriage is in fact real. So everybody, let's do a quick recap. As we discussed in this video, if you're planning on doing a marriage-based green card, one of the most important parts of the case is to show that your marriage is real, that your marriage is what's called bona fide, meaning that when you entered into the marriage, you truly intended to build a life with one another, and that the marriage was not just entered into for immigration benefits. In order to do this, the documentation that you include with your case is very important. And again, in this video, we went through a bunch of different documents that you should include in your case. The first form of evidence that we talked about is including a marriage certificate with your case. The second form of documentation is including photos with one another, particularly photos around each other's family and friends, and photos of your wedding and travel with one another. The third form of evidence that we talked about is a joint bank account. And remember, the joint bank account should actually be one that you use regularly. The fourth form of evidence is a lease agreement with both of your names on it, or evidence that you own property with one another. This helps to show that you're living together, which is very strong. And again, the fifth form of evidence that we talked about is to have bills with one another. Credit card bills, utility bills, such as a cell phone bill or a water bill. Those are very powerful as well. And again, we went over some bonuses, and the first bonus was joint memberships. For example, a membership to Costco or a membership to a gym. And the second bonus that we talked about was having a joint health insurance plan. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this video. If you know anybody that could benefit from this information, feel free to share this video with them. We're all about empowering you with knowledge. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't yet done so, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.